Hello and welcome. You know what podcast this is because you clicked on it and played it. Did y'all have a good fourth? Man, these sound levels look crazy. I don't know how that sounded for you guys. Maybe the cord moving around is fucking it up, but hopefully it's alright. I had a pretty damn good fourth. It's a lot. And I don't even mean just because, having the kids, but just in general, like, the pressure of the holidays makes it worse than it has to be. And it's not even pressure put on by anybody else other than myself. I've gotten better with that and just trying to be like, whatever it is good enough. And then my son, like, not even being rude about it or anything, but after a firework would go off, he would be like, "Is that it?" And I think for him it was more like because he's still kind of like skittish about them. I think it's more of a like, is there anything else I need to be prepared for type shit, And so he would ask that after each one, but then my anxiety or whatever, my own perception on what the holiday needs to be for them makes me feel like, oh, what it isn't enough. Like, I didn't do enough for him to be happy with it, when really he was happy just chilling. Like, we didn't have to do anything extra. It could have just been like running around and playing, and he still says like, "Yeah, I had a good day." And like, they at first, they all had little sparklers, and they fucked with that. They was running around, and I was freaking out internally. But like, that's the shitty part. You can freak out internally, but you can't externally freak out, because then they're gonna freak out. So you have to be like, "Oh yeah, you're doing good." But in your head, you're like, "Man, if you fuck up and that burns you, that's really gonna fucking put a whole different like spin on the night, and it's gonna ugh." But yeah, that didn't happen. Then my sister had gotten some of the longer ones, because the other ones that they were using were like the 20-second ones. Them bitches, you light, and then I finally get it in their little fucking hands. Like, grabbing dexterity. Like, I suck at dexterity now, but at like 2 years old, trying to grab a little fucking thing, like, and some might say, "Don't give your 2-year-old a sparkler," and you know what I would say? Fuck off. It was fine. I sat there and basically like held it with her, and we was all good. But then the longer ones came out, and my youngest was like, "Nah, I'm good on that." And then, my older two were sitting there like fucking slinging them bitches around, and they about got me. I had to do some matrix dodging, Oh, there's somebody crying. Hold on, pause. Okay. This is just dad shit. I forgot what I was talking about before, but dad corner fucking real quick. My kids would like to co-sleep, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, y'all can do different beds in my room. But now I'm trying to get them to sleep without me in the room. And that's ended up being me sleeping either fucking here or like upstairs, and them sleeping in my bed. And it's less than ideal, typically, because it's my fucking bed, They have a child bed. They have their beds. Why don't they fucking sleep in that, you're asking? And it's because I'm weak. I'm weak and I'm trying to get over it, and I'm trying to just sit there and let them do the daddy, 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 and me not running there to save the fucking day. But that's hard. What was I talking about before? The fourth. Oh yeah. And man, they was just running around and they had a good time, and I got to relax, drink a couple fucking beers, and I really just tried not to stress, just any of the shit that's been bugging me lately. I was like, okay, I'm giving myself today. Today is the day that, like, you're good, everything's fine. And it was a decent day, Maybe that means I should give myself those days more often, or maybe that means you should shut up. How about that? God, this isn't gonna become the Dustin Talks About His Dating podcast, but because I'm done with it. So fucking over it. Either I'm bad at it or it is just bad. The amount of people that is possible to talk to, the way dating is now, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have these group of people who I talk to, and based on my interest / their interest and efforts and compatibility, then I'll choose that one. And then if that doesn't work, then I can go to my backups. And I am not capable of doing that, because what happens to me is I talk to multiple people at once, and I'm half-ass interested and not really talking to any of them. I'm just keeping up a back and forth, blah 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 blah, and it's just a waste of fucking time. I prefer more of the hey, I'm interested in you. Oh shit, you're interested in me? Okay, let's go out. Let's fucking let's get this show on the road and see if there's something here, so that I don't spend months, years, whatever, wasting the time when it could just be oh, okay, well, this didn't work. Nice to meet you. Move the fuck on. And coming at it with that attitude gets you called an asshole a lot. And honestly, nothing makes me happier, because I know if somebody's calling me an asshole, that probably means that I said something. I put my proverbial foot down, did I say that word correctly? Proverbial. Yeah, I think that's right. But yeah, and for most of my life, I was like that. Just straightforward, you interested? No? Cool. And it's a okay, sorry, this shit's gonna be choppy as fuck, but I've got one who's fighting sleep, and even when I was walking back over here to start recording again, I was like, what's a good analogy that I can make? Fighting sleep, like Mike Tyson. No, that's corny, and I couldn't come up with one. So yeah, she's fighting it, throwing a fit, fucking rolling and shit, but it's cool. It's been a busy week, man. We've been doing shit all week, and it's not like they don't choose it, I guess they do choose some of it, but they can't drive and take us there and make it happen. But yeah, we've been going to the park, and then 4th of July, and then fucking just shopping and And today we went on a hike, which was very nice. I've tried to do it with them before, and it wasn't as enjoyable, I think, because they were all too small. But they all did really fucking good. You know, it's this big long trail that you go down, and then it leads to like a little waterfall that you can move on. And like normally it's a halfway decent little stream, but now because of the heat, I don't know what my dog just ate, but fuck. It's been so hot, it just has it all dried up, and which was better for my purposes because I had to go. There was a part that's like, I'd say it was maybe like a 4-foot little incline that you had to climb up to get to the next level of the little waterfall or stream or whatever you want to call it. But it was easy enough to climb up, but I had to put, like, I couldn't leave the kid there at the edge, so I had to pick one up there and then help them walk up a bit more so that they would be at a spot that was safe for them to like sit and wait. And I just looked at him. I was like, sit and wait. Don't move. I don't care if you see something. Sit and wait. And we can look at it when I get back. And then I went and grabbed the next one. Did the same thing. And then I went and did the next one. Like, you know that, it was one of those old fucking parables or problems or some shit. There was like a chicken, a snake, and a fox getting them all across the river without, them killing each other. I could do that shit. I did that shit. I was like, which kid do I have to take so that they don't fight? Or wait, these two won't fight, but then these two are crazy when they're together, so I gotta take this one first. And if nailed it. Got it done. Got them up there. Fucking, they played in the water. It was a fucking good ass time. I showed them moss. I was like, you see this shit? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, that's moss. And they said, moss? And I said, moss. And I said, what does moss do? I said, I don't know exactly what it does, but we can find out later. And we never did, because I'm like a child and shit goes in my brain and out of it and it's gone. Sometimes things don't even go in it. They just completely go through. And that's the ideas that I have that are just like, what? You ever think of some shit and it goes away so fast you start looking for what you fucking thought of? I do that shit so much when I'm like going through like outside and I'm like, I just start looking around and I'm like, bro, I forgot something, but like I'm looking into space and nothing's there, and it's like I forgot something, but I don't know what it is. And sometimes it actually helps just moving myself around. It just makes me be like, oh yeah, my keys, I have to have those. Man, I'm so bad about that shit. Like, I have to make plans around myself forgetting stuff. Like, I have to wake up earlier just in case I forgot something or lost something, that I have the time to look and find it. Like, what kind of an asshole is that? This kind? That's what I was talking about before, fucking dating and being called an asshole. But yeah, it means that I fucking established my foot down and said, hey, these are the parameters, and the shit that I'm getting or giving isn't matching the vibe, so let's just skedaddle. And then they're like, you're an asshole because I don't want to sit here and play fucking games, I'm too old. And I'm not even that old. I'm like 29 this year. And, I don't know. I had my fucking around phase. I've been there. I've done that. It's not fun anymore, Like, when I first got single after my divorce, I think I already talked about this. I did that. I went out. I was going to the bars. Like, it's not what I personally enjoy. Other people definitely do. That's good for you, but like, that's just not my vibe. And yeah, now I'm kind of at a point that it's like, fuck, even dating is a hassle. Like, I think it's because the internet and social media, like, meeting people organically can make that first awkward, like the initiation part, easier for me, honestly. I know for some people doing it online is easier, but like, I'm better just as a person if I can walk up and like talk to you, because the whole time that I'm fucking around and not really being an asshole, but just kind of like being playful in the way that I'm playful, I'm smiling. And you can tell, like, by my inflection and how I'm saying shit, that I'm just fucking around. But through, social media, Tinder, fucking dating apps, I just come across as a fucking cocksucker. And it's like, oh, okay. So that's not my forte. That's not how I should do it. But right now, I'm leaning more towards just not doing it at all. I've been single for a little bit, and I've always been comfortable in isolation. I don't prefer isolation, but it's easier because I also don't like having convenient relationships, just so before my first marriage, I had a bunch of people I would talk to every day, friends I would hang out with all the time, and then I got into a serious relationship and stopped initiating as much of the connection. And without me initiating as much, camera storage is full, so the rest of this is just audio, I guess. I have no idea when that went out, but yeah, but without me initiating as much, it kind of turned into having less friends. And it's fucked up to say, but it's almost more enjoyable for me to not have a bunch of people who are halfway around, Like, I don't know, I'm just the type of person that it's like, bro, we're in or we're out. Like, that doesn't mean I gotta fucking talk to you every day. Shit, we can not talk for 3 years. But, like, do you have my back? Do I have yours? That's what matters. And the people that I do have around me are like that. Like, I know anyone that I really like depend on, call my friend or my family, they have proven to me that like they will be there if I absolutely need them to. And the hard part is distinguishing when I needed a lot of fucking help going through my divorce. I mean, not even emotionally. I was financially fucking a wreck. Like, I was the stay-at-home parent when we separated. I didn't have any money. And through choices that I made the situation a lot harder on myself than it had to be. I could have got on my feet a lot sooner, but shit was hard. So I leaned on the people close to me. And thankfully, they were there. And it got to the point to where I was leaning on people so much that they started having, like, to say no, not because they didn't want to help in whichever way that I needed help, emotionally, financially, fucking, like, just having someone to fucking vent to. Like, they had to stop because they had their own life get in the way. And I had to realize, oh, I can't do what Kendrick Lamar said and cut my fucking granny off if she don't see it how I see it. Like, I have to realize that people, like, my viewpoints of the world and just my mindset is a lot different than a lot of people. So I kind of have to accept people with different viewpoints than me, or I won't accept anybody, and shit, I've been talking so long and now I'm yawning. That's the problem about recording this shit at fucking almost 10 o'clock at night. But fuck, I had so much to talk about and I was saying it and then it's gone. Like, I've been getting in for my own amusement, just random online arguments. And I was just sitting there scrolling and some guy had made a post, like, talking about how my hometown has lost its way spiritually and, like, isn't following the almighty Jesus Christ. And I was just kind of like saying more or less like, he had made a point about how it was the majority and now it's not the majority anymore. And I was like, well, it still is the majority, not only here, but fucking mostly everywhere, because they went, and the Catholics, not so much the Christians, but, I consider the Christians as, like, guilty by associations with the Catholics, They went and crusaded and killed fucking everybody. And his point was like, they only killed the Muslims. And because I compared the Crusades to Hitler, like going after the Jews, and he was like saying that the Muslims killed, or in the Crusades they killed like 1 million people, and Hitler killed 6 million. And bro, did my mic pick up that dog whine? I don't think it is, but I wish it would. He's sleeping over there and he's just going, but I was just making the point as they made sure, like, they were the majority, because if you didn't believe what they believed, you were living in sin and should die. So like, people will like to forget the Old Testament, the way, like, if you really believe in God, you should believe in those words, because those are the words that were written, right? That's what he said, right? Like, did he send down a revision? Like, oh, I'm sorry, let me change the words of God. Let me change that up. Like, that always confused me, and I'm sure somebody smarter in bibliography or whatever you call it could explain it in a way that I'm like, okay, but yeah, I'm like, okay, you make the religion and then you update it for the times, You update what the almighty, powerful Lord and Savior, whose word is above all, you just change that up. What? No, I went off on a tangent that I don't even believe half of what I just said for like the last 20 seconds, I guess. I don't know how long it was, but I'm just spouting shit at this point. What? No, and like, just that point frustrates me about talking about, oh, it was only the Muslims, because that's just false. They killed all the Nordic, like, pagans, and basically, like, the Irish, who had their religion is completely eradicated. Like, you know how hard it is to find Gaelic, Celtic religion? Like, the shit that they do have is so few and far between, and that's partly because they were, like, more of a verbal, like, tribe, I guess you could say. They focused more on passing their tradition verbally and didn't really give a shit about writing it down. So a lot of it didn't get written down, but what we do have is pretty cool. And I got a whole book up there in my bookshelf that you can't see, but I can. And yeah, I had already said I might dive into that when I start the audiobook thing back up, and I probably should be recording that instead of this, but I kind of felt like bullshitting on here. So hopefully y'all hopefully y'all have enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. I like arguing religion with people because I don't really have a dog in that race. And then some people do, and they feel really intensely about it, so that when you throw opposing ideas, like, what about that? They get really upset. And I'm just like, buddy, if you believe what you believe so wholeheartedly, you don't have to be upset. The goal for me isn't to change your mind, and I know you're not going to change my mind. So it should just be a conversation that we can have, and it not be about, oh, I'm right and you're wrong. But a lot of religious people, I've honestly, all the other religions that I've seen, like, of the people that I've met, they do not push half as hard as Christians. And it's because, you're supposed to build them coffers. You're supposed to get people into the church. And what do they do when they come into the church? They give the church money. So you got to get as many people as you can into that church. But yeah, that's what I don't like, is when it's like, well, you're wrong because of this. And then I'm like, okay, well, prove it. Prove it. Prove anything. Prove fucking gravity is exactly what we think it is. Prove that it's not a simulation. Prove that the fucking this. Prove it. Prove anything, and then I'll believe you. The only thing I know for sure is whatever this life is, eventually we die. And whether your soul or you're sent to heaven or you become a fucking turtle, I don't know. But I do know that ghosts are weird. Have I had ghost story time on here? I cannot remember. Somebody who's been listening to the podcast, or somebody who went back and has just now went and been listening recently. Let me know. Have I told my ghost encounters on here? And if I haven't, would you be interested in them? Well, shit, even if I have, and you're new and you want to listen to them, leave a comment. Let me know. I got some juicy ones. got some juicy ones we can go into, but I think I'm gonna call that for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.